Hello, I'm Dr. Linda Parker, and today I want to give you a clear, calm, no-nonsense guide to something that quietly causes a lot of trouble for older adults. Mixing over-the-counter medications that should never be combined after 70. My goal is not to scare you. It's to help you feel confident when you stand in front of the pharmacy shelf, read a label, and make a safe choice. When you know what not to mix, you avoid dizziness, confusion, bleeding, falls, hospital visits, and long nights that could have been peaceful. You also protect something invaluable at this stage of life: your independence. By the end of this conversation, you will know the 5 over-the-counter combinations to avoid, why they're risky for people over 70, and what to do instead so you can manage symptoms safely without undermining your health. Let's start with a simple truth that most people never hear. The body after 70 processes drugs differently. Liver and kidney function may be slower, body water distribution changes, and the brain becomes more sensitive to medications that cause sedation or anticholinergic effects. That means 2 pills that were harmless at 45 can be too much at 75, especially when taken together. On top of that, over-the-counter products often hide multiple active ingredients in one bottle. One cold and flu formula might contain a pain reliever, a decongestant, an antihistamine, and a cough suppressant all at once. If you add just one more product for a different symptom, you might duplicate an ingredient or create a dangerous interaction without realizing it. This is how good intentions collide with bad outcomes. The antidote is knowledge and a short pause before you buy. Here is the first combination you should never mix after 70. Acetaminophen by itself, plus any multi-symptom cold, flu, or pain product that also contains acetaminophen. Acetaminophen is a very useful pain and fever reducer, and for many older adults, it is the gentlest option when used correctly. The danger appears when you double up by accident. Many nighttime cold aids, sinus formulas, and extra-strength pain relievers already include acetaminophen under names like APAP, paracetamol, or simply pain reliever. If you then take a separate acetaminophen tablet on top, your daily total can climb above the safe limit before you notice. Too much acetaminophen can injure the liver, and the risk rises with age, especially if you have reduced appetite, dehydration, or drink alcohol. What to do instead? Choose one product at a time, read the label for acetaminophen in milligrams, write down your total for the day, and aim for the lowest effective dose. If you need multi-symptom relief, ask the pharmacist to help you pick a product that covers your priority symptom without duplicating acetaminophen. If pain is the only issue, use plain acetaminophen and avoid combo formulas you don't need. Here is the second combination to never mix after 70. Ibuprofen, naproxen, or other NSAIDs together with low-dose aspirin for heart protection or with each other. Nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drugs are common anti-inflammatory pain relievers for joint aches, tooth pain, and muscle soreness. The problem is that taking 2 NSAIDs together, say naproxen during the day and ibuprofen at night, does not make pain control better. It only multiplies risk. In older adults, nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drugs can irritate the stomach lining, trigger bleeding, raise blood pressure, and put stress on the kidneys. Mixing an NSAID with low-dose aspirin can also interfere with aspirin's protective effect on platelets and increase bleeding risk. Many topical gels are safer and can be tried before oral pills, but even then, you should be consistent and cautious. What to do instead? Use only one nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drug at the lowest effective dose for the shortest possible time, and never layer it with another nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drug or with aspirin unless your clinician has told you exactly how and when to take them. If you take daily low-dose aspirin, talk to your clinician or pharmacist before using an NSAID. Sometimes acetaminophen or a topical preparation is a better first step. The third combination to avoid after 70 is decongestants, such as pseudoephedrine or phenylephrine, mixed with caffeine sources or stimulant-like products, and mixed with other cold formulas that already contain a decongestant. These ingredients narrow blood vessels to reduce nasal swelling. That action can raise blood pressure, quicken the heart rate, and cause jitteriness or sleep disruption. When combined with coffee, energy drinks, caffeine tablets, or weight loss stimulants, the effect stacks up and may produce palpitations, headaches, anxiety, or a spike in blood pressure that you feel as pressure behind the eyes or a pounding in the ears. The risk increases at night when decongestants also steal sleep. What to do instead? If you need congestion relief, consider saline nasal spray, humidification, or a gentle nasal rinse. If a decongestant is necessary, choose a single-ingredient product. Use it briefly, avoid it in the evening, and do not pair it with caffeine or another combo formula. For many older adults, an intranasal steroid spray used correctly for a few days provides more reliable, calmer relief than an oral decongestant. The fourth combination you should never mix is first-generation antihistamines or over-the-counter sleep aids that contain diphenhydramine or doxylamine together with other sedating products, including cough syrups labeled nighttime, motion sickness tablets, certain nausea remedies, and alcohol. Diphenhydramine and doxylamine are strongly anticholinergic and sedating. After 70, the brain is much more sensitive to these effects. Combining them multiplies the risk of confusion, delirium, dizziness, constipation, urinary retention, dry mouth, blurred vision, and falls. One dose might feel harmless. The second dose, or the added nighttime cough remedy, pushes the nervous system over the edge. What to do instead? For allergies, favor non-sedating antihistamines like loratadine or cetirizine during the day, and confirm dosing with a pharmacist. For sleep, build a peaceful routine without medication. Dim lights, limit evening screen time, keep a consistent bedtime, and try brief relaxation audio or slow breathing. If you need a cough remedy, choose a daytime, non-sedating formula and avoid alcohol. If symptoms force you toward a sedating product, never stack it with another sedative and use the minimum dose for the shortest time. The fifth combination to keep off your list is bismuth subsalicylate or other salicylate-containing stomach remedies mixed with aspirin or with another salicylate source, and laxatives stacked together or used daily with antacids. Bismuth subsalicylate is common for indigestion and diarrhea. It contains a salicylate similar to aspirin. Doubling up on salicylates can irritate the stomach and increase bleeding risk, especially in older adults. At the same time, it's very easy to overuse laxatives for constipation. Stimulant laxatives mixed with osmotic products or used day after day can lead to cramping, dehydration, and electrolyte shifts that trigger weakness, confusion, or irregular heartbeat. Adding antacids on top can further alter mineral balance and change how other medications are absorbed. What to do instead? If you use aspirin, avoid salicylate-containing stomach remedies unless your clinician approves. For constipation, prioritize fiber from food, hydration earlier in the day, and gentle movement. If you need a laxative, start with a single, gentle option, such as a fiber supplement or a polyethylene glycol powder, and give it time to work. Do not layer multiple laxatives unless your clinician has created a plan for you. Now let me bring these cautions to life with everyday examples so you can spot risk before it starts. Imagine a quiet evening. You feel the ache of arthritis in your knee and take an ibuprofen. Later, your nose stuffs up, so you reach for a multi-symptom night cold formula. Without noticing, you just combined an NSAID with a sedating antihistamine and perhaps a decongestant and acetaminophen in the same bottle. The next morning you feel groggy, your blood pressure is up, and your stomach burns. The safer path would have been to choose one approach for pain, either acetaminophen or a single NSAID, and then use saline spray and a humidifier for congestion, saving any sedating product for a truly necessary night with the smallest dose. Another scenario. It's winter, your joints are sore, and you've had a low-grade fever. You take acetaminophen. A few hours later, you choose a flu and fever powder because the chills return. That powder already contains acetaminophen. You've now doubled your dose without realizing it. Instead, you could have checked the label, seen that acetaminophen was already included, and either waited the proper interval or used a non-acetaminophen option for a different symptom, such as a throat lozenge for irritation or a non-drug comfort measure like warm tea and rest. One more common pattern. A long flight leaves you constipated. You buy a stimulant laxative, and, because you're impatient, you add magnesium citrate the same evening. You wake at 3 a.m. with cramping and lightheadedness. The better approach would be to choose one gentle product, increase fluids earlier in the day, walk after meals, and allow your body a day or two to respond. Constipation relief often takes steady habits more than aggressive combinations. To make this truly practical, let me give you a simple 3-step checklist to use every time you consider an over-the-counter product. Step 1. Read the active ingredients line. If you see acetaminophen, ibuprofen, naproxen, aspirin, diphenhydramine, doxylamine, phenylephrine, pseudoephedrine, dextromethorphan, bismuth, subsalicylate, or loperamide, say the name out loud and ask yourself if you're already taking it in another product. Step 2. Decide which single symptom you are treating right now. When you try to fix everything at once, you end up with a cocktail that your body doesn't appreciate. Choose the most bothersome symptom and address only that. Step 3. If you're unsure, ask the pharmacist to help you find a single-ingredient product or confirm that your combination is safe for someone over 70. Pharmacists are medication experts. Use their wisdom. They can also flag interactions with your prescription medicines. Because safety is not only about what you take, but also when and how, here are a few timing tips that make OTC meds gentler for older adults. Take the minimum effective dose and wait the full interval before considering another. Avoid starting new OTCs late at night. Try the first dose in the daytime so you can observe how your body responds when you're awake and steady. If a product is sedating, take it only when you are safely at home, lights are low, and you have help nearby if needed. Hydrate earlier in the day to limit nighttime bathroom trips that increase fall risk. Keep a small notebook or a medication card on the kitchen counter. Write down the name, dose, and time whenever you take something new. Patterns become obvious on paper, and it prevents accidental repeats. Let's address 5 quick myths that create problems. Myth 1. If it's over the counter, it's harmless. Truth. OTC status means safe when used as directed, not safe in any amount or combination. Myth 2. 2 kinds of the same medicine work better than one. Truth. With non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs and many other over-the-counter drugs, doubling up only multiplies side effects. Myth 3. Nighttime formulas are just stronger and more helpful. Truth. Nighttime formulas are usually more sedating and more anticholinergic. For older adults, that can mean confusion and falls. Myth 4. Decongestants are necessary for any cold. Truth. Many colds improve with saline, rest, and time. Decongestants should be used briefly and with caution, or avoided if you have blood pressure or heart concerns. Myth 5. Laxatives are safe every day. Truth. Daily or stacked laxative use can disturb electrolytes and bowel rhythm. Focus on hydration, fiber, and movement first. A word about labels and names. Companies often use different brand names for the same ingredient, and one brand may sell multiple versions of a product with entirely different active ingredients. That's why reading the small active ingredients panel is more important than reading the large brand name on the front. If the print is tiny, use a magnifying glass or the camera on your phone to zoom in. If a product lists more than 2 or 3 active ingredients, pause. Ask yourself whether you really need all of them or whether a simpler single ingredient option fits better. Your home can make safer choices easier. Keep a small, organized symptom kit rather than a drawer full of mismatched products. Include plain acetaminophen, a single ingredient NSAID if your clinician says it's okay, non-sedating daytime allergy medicine, saline nasal spray, a basic cough syrup without sedatives, a gentle single ingredient laxative, and a simple antacid if appropriate. Label each bottle with a large marker showing the active ingredient and the dose. Put a note inside the kit that lists the 5 combinations you will not mix. When you're tired or not feeling well, you'll be grateful for this cheat sheet. Because real life is messy, here are 3 brief stories from the clinic that show how small changes prevent big problems. Ruth, 78, loved gardening but struggled with knee pain. She used naproxen during the week and switched to ibuprofen on weekends, thinking variety was better. When we simplified to one non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug as needed and replaced her bedtime dose with acetaminophen or a topical gel, her stomach settled and her blood pressure improved. She still tended her roses. She just did it without unnecessary risk. Ahmed, 74, was a night reader who took a PM cold formula even when he only had a mild sniffle. He liked the drowsy feeling until he fell on the way to the bathroom. We replaced the nighttime combo with saline spray, a cup of warm herbal tea, and a cool mist humidifier. His congestion eased, he slept more naturally, and there were no more 2 a.m. stumbles. Gloria, 82, relied on bismuth subsalicylate for indigestion while taking aspirin each morning. When we connected the dots and shifted her to non-salicylate options and earlier, lighter dinners, the black stools and stomach aches stopped. Small course corrections, big relief. Let me give you a gentle, practical action plan you can start tonight. First, clear your medicine area. Pick up every over-the-counter box and bottle, flip to active ingredients, and set aside anything that duplicates another product. Second, make a 1-page list of your go-to options for pain, congestion, cough, allergies, indigestion, and constipation. 1 product per symptom, with the dose and timing written clearly. Third, post your never mix list where you can see it. No acetaminophen on top of acetaminophen, no NSAID on top of NSAID, or with daily aspirin, no decongestant plus caffeine or another combo formula, no sedating antihistamine or sleep aid layered with any other sedative or alcohol, no salicylate stomach remedies with aspirin, and no stacked laxatives. Fourth, commit to asking a pharmacist whenever you buy something new. Make it a habit. If it's new to you, ask. Fifth, carry a small medication card in your wallet that lists your daily prescriptions and your over-the-counter rules. Emergencies are easier when the information is right there. Here is the heart of the message in 1 sentence. After 70, safety comes from simplicity. 1 symptom, 1 product, 1 clear dose, 1 careful interval. That approach keeps your brain clear, your balance steady, your stomach comfortable, your blood pressure calmer, and your nights safer. You deserve that peace. You've earned it. If this conversation gave you clarity, take a moment to look at your home supply and make 1 improvement before the day ends. If you have a friend who juggles bottles on the nightstand, share these 5 rules so their next week can be easier. And if you value calm, practical guidance about staying well in the years ahead, stay connected so we can keep building a community where older adults make confident, informed choices. Disclaimer: this is educational information not a diagnosis or treatment plan. Over-the-counter products can interact with prescription medicines and health conditions. If you take daily aspirin, blood pressure medications, blood thinners, or have kidney, liver, heart, or cognitive concerns, talk with a qualified professional before adding or changing any over-the-counter product. If you experience black stools, severe stomach pain, confusion, chest pain, trouble breathing, fainting, or sudden weakness, seek urgent care.